So that's a great way of looking at those conversations. Is how do you slide in the business side of things while keeping the rapport without having to be a random tangent where you're like, you know what, that's enough about your dog. Let's talk about your house.
And also, whoever asks the questions controls the conversation. So ask more questions or ask better questions that lead it to where you want it to go. And that's what you can really script practice with is, okay, someone's off in left field. What questions can I ask to bring them back? So just remember, whoever asks the questions are the right questions, controls the conversation.
I love that. Thank you. Thanks, Emily.
So, you haven't met Emily yet. Emily's one of our mega agents, our part at LC. She's the head of our growth committee. She's the head of awesomeness. She's also the head of the Erickson team because, well, she's the head. She's amazing.
No, I'm just the face. Eric's actually the awesome one. So we'll let him keep continuing to do the business awesomely. And I just get to be the face that takes the, I get the checks that are made out to me.
How it works. That's a good marriage right there. Now, I love that. Asking good questions. So let's work on that today. How do you ask a better question?
By listening.
By listening. Okay.
Make sure it's open-ended.
Open-ended. Thank you, Mara. That's what I was looking for.
Well, and sometimes it's affirming what they just said. So they're talking about the cats or whatever. Oh, I love that your cats are doing so much better now. They're not hacking up golf balls, whatever. What do you feel is, best for your home right now? And just, affirm what they just said so that you're not just going out of left field and say, I want to sell your home. What can I sell it for? But just affirm and then ask your question.
I love it. Open-ended question. Restating, which is also called mirroring. Restating a question. It's a form of mirroring. Is one of the best ways of gaining rapport. The fastest possible way to gain rapport is to mirror. If you're doing a face-to-face presentation, you can mirror, we call it belly-to-belly conversations. You can mirror in body language, you can mirror in tempo, you can mirror in cadence, and you can start saying the same things. If somebody says hot damn in a conversation and you throw in a hot damn in that conversation, then their head's like, oh wait, this person's like me, I like them more. So always reciprocate what they're saying, and then how do you play it to your favor? And that's just where the technique comes in. You can script all you want to have a response to everyday situations, but how do you guide a conversation? Is by knowing where you want the conversation to go and subtly getting the client to follow your bread trail so that it's like Emily said, it's not abrupt, like, my cats are real sick. Mitzi had the fits the other day and she attacked Rubbles and Rubbles is just feeling real weird. You're like, oh, what color house do you want? Like, you're not paying attention. Don't be like an agent I talked to the other day and then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, okay, yeah, that sounds great. And I didn't say anything that had that kind of response to it. Yikes. You can tell they're not paying attention.
So what do you, if it goes where, okay, we're just gonna try it for 2 more weeks, then we're gonna list with you, then the cat's sick and throwing up and everything's wrong in the world, and then are you just mirror it back, I'm so sorry your cat, da 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 da.
How about this? Sherry, I'm so sorry to hear about your cat. It sounds like you've got a lot of stuff going on in your life and a lot of frustrations. Why don't I list your house now so I can take that off of your plate and you guys don't have to worry about that? Just one less thing to put your energy towards.
That is great.
One of my favorite.
Or if they just told you like how they're not ready, or you could even say, why don't I come back? Why don't I set up an appointment to come back on Thursday next week, 2 days before, whatever.
Yeah, and why push it off? You're there now. Go for the business.
Yeah, okay, because they just talked about their sick cat, so you can say, wow, you got a lot on your plate. Okay.
You got a lot on your plate. You got a lot going on. You don't, if you've already thought about selling with an agent, like, oh, we're gonna try it for 2 more weeks, and then we'll list with you. Okay, great. That's fantastic. What's important about those 2 weeks?
Yeah, exactly. Finding their motivation of why they're selling and what that 2 weeks means to them. And remember, we can do everything digitally. I mean, you can have, a listing contract, just email it to them for signature. You don't have to have an in-person meeting anymore. I mean, people are getting to that point.
Yeah.
I love it. I absolutely love the fact that we've gone more remote. I miss having people in my office. I definitely appreciate the fact that if I'm 5 minutes late to a meeting, it's not because of traffic. It's because I had to kick somebody out of my office and pull my laptop out. So it saves some time. But back to you, Sherry. If someone's got those cues, like, we're gonna wait a week, or we're gonna try to sell it on our own first. Let's get, like Emily said, to the core motivation. What's important about blank? I completely understand wanting to sell the house yourself, and waiting 2 weeks is, a good time frame. Let me ask you, out of curiosity, what is it about 2 weeks that's important to you?
And hopefully prior to even that conversation, you've asked them, why are you selling your house? What's important about selling it by owner? If it's the commission, and then you get to start talking about objections of, okay, if you have to sell it for this long, how much longer, how much quicker can a real estate agent, at a better price for you, and those kinds of things. So motivation is huge for sale by owners, and they're all crazy. All for sale by owners are crazy.
Well, let's run a scenario. Sherry, why don't you be the client, because you know the conversations you've been having, and Emily will be our agent.
Oh, it was a couple of years ago, but I'll
Oh,
try.
dear. I don't do for sale by owners, but okay.
But you do awesome.
Okay, we'll just play. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hi, this is Emily with the Emily and Eric team. I'm just calling to see how you're doing and how you're doing in this weird, interesting time.
Oh, we're hanging in there.
Good. I noticed that you're a for sale by owner, and I was wondering if I could come in and see if your house matched some of my buyers.
I don't know. I've just gotten so many calls lately. I'm not sure. And they're all realtors that are calling me.
That's great. I do have a list of buyers that are looking in your neighborhood and area, and they constantly are wondering what's for sale. And so I do like to make sure I know what's for sale in that neighborhood. I swear it'll just be 15 minutes just to walk through the house and see what's available, so that I can make sure that I'm providing the best service for my clients.
Sure. That sounds good.
Great. Can I come see you this afternoon around 2 o'clock, or would tomorrow morning around 10:30 be better?
2 o'clock sounds good today.
Awesome. All right. And what's your name again? I'm sorry. I introduced myself, but forgot to ask you.
Sherry McBroom. I'm going to be my seller.
All right, Sherry. Awesome. Well, Sherry, I'm excited to meet you later this afternoon. And thank you so much for letting me come in. Do you want me to wear a mask or gloves or anything at the time I come in?
A mask would be great. I'll wear a mask too. Thank you.
Wonderful. All right. We'll see you at 2.
Thanks.
We didn't get into weird questions, obviously, and I didn't try to list you there. I'm just trying to meet you. And I do have buyers. I have buyers I have like 12 potential buyers that could be in any price range. And so it's not a lie that I have a potential buyer, because I have buyers in the 150s and I have the buyers in the 1.5s, so I can almost do that to any for sale by owner, because I wouldn't be doing my clients justice if I didn't know everything that's in or off the MLS.
Yeah.
And so it's not a falsehood. If you say unless you have 0 buyers and you're a brand new agent, but then it's like, I have potential buyers, because yes, you talk to people every day, they're potentials, and you can go and just try to get that appointment. Or if you're like, oh no, I'm totally freaked out, I'm only doing showings by FaceTime or whatever, then great. Can you show me your home? And they can show you my home, and I can ask questions, and then I can start building that rapport, which is what I would do in a home visit. Is, can I build that rapport and get your motivation of why you're selling, when you're wanting to sell, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, that makes
I love
sense.
it. So one thing I love about that conversation is Emily skipped the small talk.
Oh yeah.
You don't need small talk. Small talk is actually awkward to people. It gets you to beat around the bush, and you start hemming and hawing, and you break rapport with small talk. So she kind of went right to it. So
I'm not going to be able to build a relationship huge amount of relationship on the phone with a for sale by owner, because they are like, you were like, oh, I've had all these realtors talking to me. I'm like, great, I'm not going to waste your time then. I'm just going to tell you what I need. I need to come see your house. Can I come see your house?
And then you build a rapport with them once you're there, because you're actually not looking for an appointment. You're not looking to list their home as the initial call. You're just getting in to see them, to get face-to-face or virtual tour or whatever. So then if it doesn't, so then let's say they say, okay, do you have a buyer for this? And you're like, yeah, maybe. But you want the listing. How would you integrate that? How would you like?
Well, and what I'll do is I'll usually ask their permission to take a couple pictures, you know, so I can show my buyers, because it's not listed if it's not on Zillow or if it's just a sign in the yard. But after that, it's, you know, offering, well, would you mind if I do an open house for you? You know, see if I can drum up some business for you. You know, it's 3 hours on a Friday afternoon that, you know, if you show that you got 15 people through the house, and now you have all those buyers' information that you don't have to give Mr. Seller, or you can, and just say, hey, you can follow up with them, or I can. What would you like me to do? And then if that gets to the point, then, you know, you just call, you know, you just start trying to build that reasons why you're giving the service, you're listing the house. At least that's what they taught in, you know, all the Keller Williams things that I've been to on for sale by owners. Have I done that personally? No, because I don't do for sale by owners. But that's the scripts. That's what they teach, is what kind of the next steps you can do.
Cool. Thank you.
Yep.
I like it. So one way to jump right into that, guys, write this down if you want. Ring, ring. Hello, my name is Big Dan Caldwell, Keller Williams, Southern Arizona. It's unlikely that you know who I am. I've sold a lot of houses in your neighborhood. I did notice that your house had a for sale by owner sign in the front of it. Is it still for sale? Skip the small talk, get right to the point. Right? And then you can go to, like Emma said, I'd like to come check it out. I've got some potential buyers for it. Or if you don't lie, you know? Do you have a buyer? It's unlikely that I have a buyer directly for your house. I am a specific neighborhood specialist, whatever, like if it's the Hilton Hills or if it's Heritage Highlands or if it's, you know, Valencia South specialist. And I do talk to a lot of people that are looking to buy in this area. And it's important for me to know the inventory. Would it offend you if I stop by later this week to come check it out? So again, it's ring, ring. Hello, this is blank at blank. It's unlikely you know who I am, because you're not, you know, want to be pompous. It's unlikely you know who I am. I've sold a lot of houses in your neighborhood, or my team has sold a lot of houses in your neighborhood, or my company has sold a lot of houses in your neighborhood. As a new agent, you can use that. Keller Williams has sold a lot of houses in a lot of neighborhoods. Run the brand, you know, back yourself with that. Is your house still for sale? Then you can start gaining the agreement with open-ended questions. You know, what can you tell me about it? You know, what interesting facts do you know? Like, what is it about the neighborhood that you like the most? And these are all things you can get that information when you're there to build and gain rapport. And like Emily said, is giving the value. Like, if you're going to run an open house for sale by owner, damn, like that's a whole lot of value. And you get the benefit of all those new leads in your pipeline. You guys want to find some really cool for sale by owner stuff? I'll wait till everyone's listening. Go look at Zillow for the for sale by owner open houses.
We're taking notes. We're like writing everything you say. Wendy and I both, we're just like, that's good.
Go stop by a RentBow, or go stop by a for sale by owner open house. For sale by owners that are smart and savvy want to do an open house, and they'll list it on Zillow. So on Zillow, there's 8, 9, 10 a weekend all over the city. So you got to make a day out of it, but just go stop by. You don't need an appointment. You don't need to set it up. Just go to the open house at that time so you can get an idea what the house looks like, get an idea who the people are. You've got their name, you got their address. And while you're there, maybe you can gain some other information, put them in your pipeline. And then the key to all of this is follow up. Ding.
One of our old team leads, Dan, Craig, you know Craig Thompson, he used to say you had to follow up, 7 or 8 times with a FSBO to usually get in with them.
At least. A typical convert on any sales, and this is just national statistic, a typical convert from the moment that you start an interaction to gaining agreement, regardless what the agreement is about 7 to 8 follow-up attempts. Most salespeople stop after the 3rd.
Hey, Dan, to follow up on that excellent advice, while you're in the open house, since the FSBO is not a real estate agent, you can talk to some of the other people that are dropping by to see it and potentially pick up some new buyers.
I'd be careful of doing that because it looks kind of snaky.
Oh,
You pop in
okay.
and you're just kind of stealing those. Just let yourself be known as an agent. Say, hey, I'm a real estate agent. I do service this area. I happen to notice you had an open house. I'm going to stop by. You have a beautiful home. Would you mind showing me around?
Okay.
And then don't go and like, hey, I noticed that you're looking at this open house. Hi, my name is Dan. I'm a real estate agent. Here's my card. Let's talk.
Well, I wouldn't do it quite that way, but yeah. If they're walking away and say they don't like it, maybe out in the yard.
It's kind of funny. I just got a text message from a friend saying, hey, I was just walking and there's a for sale by owner in my neighborhood. The universe is talking. Maybe I should do for sale by owners.
It's a sign.
So
she's sending me a picture of the sign.
I like it. So the other day, I'm looking for a house in my neighborhood for one of my clients, and there's a for sale by owner that I drive by every day. I drive by this neighborhood. It's my way out to work every day, and all of a sudden there's a for sale by owner sign in the ground. I stopped there on Sunday. There's a guy outside. I popped out, got his name, got his information. He's an investor that bought the house to flip it. Made friends with him, got his name and something like that. He's got his real estate license, but he just does it to sell his own houses, not pay the commission. But he uses a for sale by owner sign. So be careful with those signs out front because they could be misleading. And I told him, I was like, if ever that you're looking for other properties, I do have it. So instead of being like, hey, you're a jerk and you're doing it wrong, I put him in my database. His name is Gus. And I found out that another house in my neighborhood is going for sale, what it's going for sale for, and what the competition is out in that market. But I just stopped. I literally just stopped. There was a sign. I went and knocked on the door because I saw a dude walk inside. I was like, there's somebody in this house. I know there's somebody in this house. So I stopped and I knocked, hey, I live down the street. I'm a real estate agent. I've got clients looking for this neighborhood. Do you mind if I ask what you're planning on selling the house for? And then that sparked a whole conversation. I was standing out front of his house in my tank top and flip-flops for about 30 minutes. But again, it gained another person to put in my pipeline that I can drip on and I can follow up with. And I already know that he's got a proclivity towards investments in my neighborhood. And he doesn't like doing things the right way. So maybe I can, slide in there and be like, hey, dude, let me help you so you don't get sued. So, but don't be afraid to go knock on doors. If it's in your neighborhood, go introduce yourself. You're muted, Sherry.
Oh, I was just telling Wendy for the FSBO. Yeah, we can knock on doors, wear a mask, and if there's a FSBO in. We're very quarantined, so I do go on appointments. I wear masks. They wear masks. We sit 6 feet apart, but we're protecting her dad, who is high risk. So it adds a definite extra element of challenge for us.
Yeah, it's super hard, and those of you who are doing in-person appointments with masks on, I applaud you. It's super difficult because you can hide a lot of your facial structure like this. It's like the Home Improvement, Mr. Wilson. You never knew what Mr. Wilson was thinking. You didn't know if he was smiling, happy, sad, or whatnot because you can't see the face. All you get to see is a little bit of the eyes.
I went on one and I said, I'm smiling under my mask, just so you know. And they said, we're not. And I was like, oh, okay.
My response would be, why not?
They didn't want to wear masks, but they just were like frustrated with the whole situation.
Yeah, it's understandable. Like you're protecting your family.
Yeah.
Family first. Our family business, right?
Right.
Right. Oh, I like today's class. It was good stuff. What else we got? For sale by owners, we kind of overcome the objections, kind of skip the small talk, be resolute, but be confident. Hi, my name is Big Dan Caldwell from Keller Williams, Southern Arizona. It's unlikely that you know who I am, and I sold a lot of houses in your neighborhood. I noticed that you had a for sale by owner sign in your front yard. Is your home still for sale? Trust me, you get a lot more agreement when you say you saw a sign in the front yard versus, I got your name off a list. Is your house still for sale? Or if you want to cover yourself, hi, this is Big Dan Caldwell from Keller Williams, Southern Arizona. It's unlikely you know who I am. I saw a sign in your front yard the other day that was for sale by owner. Is your home still for sale?
So you're saying it's unlikely you know who I am. Is that, I mean, I guess if it's in the farm area, I wouldn't say that. If it's not in my farm area, I would say it's unlikely you know who I am. Is your house still for sale?
It depends on it's where you're at. If you work in a farm area.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Big Dan Caldwell from Keller Williams, Southern Arizona. We haven't had the chance to talk yet. I noticed that your house had a for sale by owner sign in the front yard. Is your home still for sale?
Yeah, you just change it up.
It's just a formula. Hi, it's blank. Hi, this is Sherry McBroom with not Keller Williams, Southern Arizona. We haven't had the chance to meet formally yet. I noticed that you have a for sale by owner sign in your front yard. Is your home still for sale? Oh, no, we actually got a buyer on it last week. Okay, great. Or, no, I took that sign out a couple days ago. That's why I like to say sometimes I'll use if I haven't seen the house in a while. A couple days ago, I saw a sign in your front yard at your house. Is it still for sale? Yes, do you have a buyer? I might. You're going to get that. Do you have a buyer? I might.
And we could drive the neighborhoods of places that we do have buyers and really scour that. And then we do have a buyer.
Who's heard of circle prospecting? Is this a term you know of?
Yeah.
For those who don't know what circle prospecting is, that means you've got a house in a neighborhood that's either for sale by owner, or just sold. What you do is you call that neighborhood, you circle prospect around that neighborhood. So it's, a circle around that neighborhood, and you call that neighborhood and say, hey, I'm not sure if you saw this or not. There's actually a house for sale in your neighborhood down off of 5th Street on the corner of Jones and 5th. Who do you know that might be interested in that?
I get leads off that all the time. I circle prospect every week because before I do an open house, I do it. And then one time, I'll do it for other agents just because I'll be doing some of their open houses. Sometimes I just do it because, you know what? People might know someone, and it's the most unoffensive way to call them. I swear I never get really angry people or anything. I'm just like, hey, can you help me out? Just wondering if you know anyone that might be wanting to buy or even possibly sell. I'm just kind of looking around a little bit, talking to a few people. Do you know anybody? And they're like, oh, well, yeah, actually my sister is thinking about buying. And I'm like, this is a jackpot, just circling neighborhoods,
Well, where do you get do you pay for service for the list of numbers?
Well,
Yes.
yeah, we have Mojo. I'm with Stratton Group, so we have Mojo, and it's like a auto dialer. So we have lists. We have a huge database, and so it's based on the neighborhoods that we usually are doing open houses in. Coming soon.
And you don't do a recorded message. You actually call.
Yeah, I
Okay.
call every single one of them. And I'll leave voicemails. I'll just, yeah, I think circle prospecting is awesome. It really is. And we walk around the neighborhood too. Like before our open house, I always have flyers, and it's another way to just, hey, did you know there's an open house going to be right down the street? And it's good to get the neighbors to come over, and there's always looky-loos. They always want to see what the other person's house looks like, right? And eventually, they all know somebody that is either looking to buy or might want to sell or something like that. So that's a good way to get some business too.
You guys have been so amazing. Thank you.
Isn't it the best 30 minutes of your life right now, right?
Truly is. Thank you. Wendy and I are going to be having some fun.
Go out and make something happen today. It is Tuesday. It is the 2nd day of June in 2020. It's a great day to be an agent here in Arizona. Let's do something great with it, okay?
Okay.
Go out there and change somebody's life today. Be nice to somebody.
Yes.
I'm going to be nice to the termite guy today.
There you go. Give him a high five from a
I
distance.
will. There you go.
Awesome. Well, thank you, everyone, for hanging out with us this morning. I love the feedback. I'll see you all in the morning. Same time, same place. See you tomorrow.
Thanks, Dan.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.